This is something. It doesn't have a name yet, the project's just called Space Invaders. It's my first ever game that I'm spending more than 2 minutes on, and I need your help. But we'll get to that. See, I was playing Snakes.io and I realized something. Some brilliant guy took Snake and made it modern and multiplayer. And since coming up with the idea is the hardest part of making a game for me, I thought I could do the same thing. Take an old game, upgrade. I thought about a lot of stuff. Like a whole lot of stuff. But nothing came to mind, and my time was running out. My intro to game dev class really needed me to make something. So I just turned my brain off and whipped up a quick little thing. See, I had this old game one time where you would be a car and you would drive around with slidey movement and kill zombies. I never finished it, unfortunately, but the slidey movement thing was really interesting to me. So I thought I'd make a game where you have to drift around and attack enemies. I made some basic enemies that just come towards you, which was fine, except there was already problems. Namely that all you had to do was stop moving forward and turn around, and the enemies would just never reach you. And when you get moving fast, the enemies could come out of nowhere outside the screen. But that's neither here nor there. So naturally, I ignored the problem, added a health bar, some bloom, and a player trail so you can see where you're going. Side note, I used to have this game where you would just dodge things. It was only fun in the sense that it made you go blind. It's on my itch.io page in the description. It's fine. It's unfinished, but it is fine. It exists. So I kind of toned down the bloom because my eyes were starting to hurt. Anyway, thank fucking God to Freya Holmer on YouTube. Because of her, I sort of fell headfirst into shaders for the first time, and I fell hard. I made this. Look at it. Isn't it cool? It's cool. And it has anti-aliasing. I used something called sine distance fields to make 2D shapes, and it was so satisfying. This was my shader golden age. I made a lot of stuff, cool stuff, mesmerizing stuff. I'm just so passionate about this. I'm really getting into shaders. It was really fun. Look. Boom. Meta border. Isn't that fun? Anyway, I finished it, and I also made a circle and a triangle one. Not that you guys care, but if any of you know anything about shaders, I basically figured out if I make the layers from the outside in, I can make all of it have perfect anti-aliasing. Anyway, my game very quickly turned into this. I always liked the arcade aesthetic anyway. I also solved the gameplay issue by making it so the player is constantly accelerating towards the mouse, and it's your job to control it. It was much more fun and challenging that way. Honestly, it perfected my movement system. I also made a blue circle enemy that comes up to the player and jumps towards them. And to make the gameplay more satisfying, I made it so you can boost forward really quickly and change direction and speed up momentarily. And you shoot a shotgun backwards because why not? It's pretty strong. Then I promptly ran out of ideas for enemies. I knew this game had to be a roguelike, even though that's insane for my first ever game, but that was pretty much it. I wrote some ideas down on paper. Don't pay attention that I was in class at the time. In case you want to be able to actually see something, here's the pages. Some simple ideas, but that's it. We'll get to these pages later. At this point, I knew there had to be a red square. I just had no idea how it would work. It was annoying the frick out of me. The smartest idea I came up with was making the square just a faster triangle, but it's actually more complicated than that. The red square is faster than the player. In a straight up race, it wins, but it constantly propels exactly towards you, meaning it can't overcorrect and turn faster. So with a little bit of smart turning, you can outmaneuver them even without your boost, though this is easier said than done in a crowded fight. This balances really well with the blue circle because you know those turns and maneuvers you need to do to outrun the squares? Well, that's exactly what you can't do in front of blue circles, because if you slow down, they'll snipe you. It happened a lot during the recording of this. You see, I added some damage numbers because dopamine. Then I wanted to do a snake, like the one I did for my artificial life video, but more geometrical, I guess. The result was this. I definitely need to make them spawn rarely and make them avoid each other to help crowd the player and possibly just change the AI, but for now they're this. I did some other stuff. I accidentally made, documented, and saved Bugged Fred for later. This is Fred. Everyone say hi. He's called Bugged Fred. I added a parallelogram because I couldn't find the SDF for the shape I wanted, and the snake needed better visuals. You see, I added some XP too, but that's a different problem because those things definitely need to be more exciting looking. The state of the game was this. Some problems. Number 1. No idea where to go enemy-wise except for a few simple ideas. Help me out in the comments, by the way. Number 2. Seriously stuck between doing a skill tree versus normal roguelike cards. Pros and cons. If I do a skill tree, it's somewhat more satisfying. It's easier to balance, but it requires some really annoying programming. I would need to figure out some sort of levels or difficulty system that would mean the player doesn't get bored at the beginning of every single game after getting a few skills. I would need to add more bosses than I was planning to add. I would need to figure out something like more currencies or how to do prices probably like this game. It's just a whole lot of trouble, and I'm lazy, okay? On the other hand, if I do traditional roguelike cards, it's easier to balance in different ways, and it's really harder to balance in different ways. I'm leaning towards doing this because after some annoyance with some sort of wave and boss system, the rest pretty much takes care of itself. Though I am considering doing some sort of hybrid thing where the main system is cards, but the player has some basic upgrades they can buy between runs that's not exciting to show up as a card, like making you go faster. It's gonna be up to you guys to help me decide. So far, I know I need upgrades like, give me a minute. New abilities, better stats, better movement, more XP drop, more boost area, more health regen, homing bullets. God, I have no idea how I'm going to implement that one without causing lag. More damage, more bullets, enemies explode on death, some other area of effect. Bullets bounce to enemies, not to mention more enemies, some bosses, a better difficulty ramp up system, etc. And maybe this will be a proper game, but I mean, it's not bad for your first game, is it? It already got me the grade, if you were curious. I got an A. Next, I took a break and I took a trip to Istanbul, and when I came back, I added a timer and a wave system. Now I know how long each wave lasts and how many of what kind of enemies it spawns with what odds. I've pretty much decided the card system is the way to go, but I'm open to opinions. I found myself a new office. That's not a joke, that's actually my office. I managed to borrow a microphone, if you guys are listening to it. I added this cooldown thingy too, to tell you when you can boost, but I didn't really want to get into the upgrade system or the tree system. I didn't want to add anything else to the game until I asked you guys first, because I actually really want to make a thing out of implementing your comments. So for now, do me a favor and subscribe and tell me what you want me to put in the game, because I will actually listen and I will actually add some of your stuff in a game. Side note, there's a war right now going on in my country, so the internet might be a bit iffy. I'll try to upload when I can, but no promises. See you guys in the next video.